Hello. I'm going to read you a story today about a little Chinese boy who lived a long time ago, and his name was long name No Can Say. That wasn't really his name, it was just what people called him for short. His real name was Nikki Timbo, no so rimbo, umamuchi gama gucci. When long name No Can Say was 7 years old, he decided one day that he would take a walk and let all the people in the village see how wonderful he was. So he put on his fanciest bright blue mandarin coat and his newest red silken slippers, and he greased his pigtail until it was so shiny that it hurt your eyes to look at it. And he started out. As long name No Can Say passed the neighbors' houses, the neighbors all came out to look at him. Each neighbor, as he passed, said, "Good morning, Nikki Timbo, no so rimbo, umamuchi gama gucci." It was a very hot summer day. He hadn't gone very far before the perspiration began to run down his face. When he got to the edge of the village, he was so hot and so wet and so thirsty that he just had to have a drink of water. So he went over to the village well. He leaned over too far to see his reflection in the well, and whoops, he fell into the well. He hollered, "Help! Come very quick! Chop, chop!" That meant, "Do it quickly." A neighbor heard him and said, "No can do, please. We'll get help, but no can get exalted body out of well." So long name No Can Say yelled up to the neighbor and told him to get someone to help. He saw two Chinese farmers tending their rice fields. He went to get them. They were so close by that it ought to have taken only a few minutes to bring them to the well. But the farmers would not come until he told them who had fallen down the well. Well, he tried to tell them. He said, "Young master, Nikki Timbo, no so rimbo, umamuchi gama gucci. He is body down well, please. You come quick, yes?" But the farmers couldn't understand that long name, and they wouldn't come until they did understand it. One farmer said, "Come again, please. What is name?" And he told him the name all over again. It took quite a time to do it, and all the while this was going on, poor long name No Can Say was struggling and wiggling and trying to get himself out of the well. The neighbor trotted off to the first person he saw in the village. It was the village shoemaker. He told him the boy was in the well and asked him to come get him out. But the shoemaker only said, "Who in well? Who is name, please?" Every time the long name was repeated, poor long name No Can Say was struggling and perspiring and getting stuck harder than ever. The shoemaker said, "Can make shoes, but no can help get out of well, Nikki Timbo, no so rimbo, umamuchi gama gucci." And then the village baker came along and asked what the trouble was. So they told him. It took a lot more time to make the village baker understand. Then he said, this very bad misfortune, please. Me no can help, can make very nice rice cakes, but no can get out of well, Nikki, Nikki, Timbo, no so rimbo, umamuchi, gama, gama, gucci. Very sorry, please. And it was just the same with the village candle maker, and the village tailor, and the village butcher, and the village carpenter, and the village rope maker, and the village water carrier. And of course they had to repeat that long, long name to each of them, so each would understand who was in the well. And each of them had to repeat it after he was told, so he could understand who it was that they couldn't get help out of the well. He was getting terribly worried when along came the sisters of Long Name No Can Say and his slim brother Yin. After hearing that no one can help their fat brother, the eldest sister said, "This is much exalted nonsense. All can help." So she took the village water carrier and told him to go to the well and draw water out of the well with his bucket so the water wouldn't get any deeper. She told the village candle maker to take many lighted candles to the well and place them around the rim so it wouldn't be dark down below where her brother was. She told the rope maker to get his longest, strongest rope to the well, and everybody else would come along and pull. So they all trotted off to the well. When they got there, the village rope maker tied one end of the longest, strongest rope to a tree, and the other end he dropped down the well. And Yin tied the rope maker's rope under his fat brother's arms. Then Yin climbed up the rope and out of the well, and everybody at the top of the well began to pull. Well, they pulled and they tugged, then strained and they grunted, but Long Name No Can Say stayed right where he was. They couldn't budge him an inch. He was so fat and so tightly wedged in the well that he just wouldn't move. And he called up to them, "Ouch, please. This not doing something. This only hurting when pulling." Of course, they didn't want to hurt him, so they all stopped pulling. The eldest sister said there was only one thing to do. The others said, "What is, thank you, please?" And she said, "Nikki, Nikki, Timbo, no so rimbo, umamuchi, gama, gama, gucci, would just have to go on a diet and get slim enough to climb up the well by himself." So the village baker baked him just one rice cake a day for 87 days. And everybody else went back to his work in the village. And every day, Long Name No Can Say got a little bit slimmer. His mother came to see him every day. And every day, she dropped her tape measure down the well to him, and he'd measure himself for a new mandarin coat. Every day, she made him a new mandarin coat, each one a little smaller than the one she had made the day before, and each one a little more brightly colored. So he would be sure to have a mandarin coat that would fit him when he got out of the well. All this time she was thinking, if Nikki, Nikki, Timbo, no so rimbo, umamuchi, gama, gama, gucci hadn't had such a long name, it wouldn't have taken everyone so long to explain it. It wouldn't have taken so long to explain who was in the whale. And if it hadn't taken so long to explain who was in the whale, Nikki, Timbo, no so Rimbo, Moochie, Gama Gucci, wouldn't have gotten himself wedged in so tightly. All this she was thinking as she made the 87 bright new mandarin coats. And on the 87th day, her fat son, who was now as slim as his slender brother Yin, climbed up the rope and out of the well all by himself, just as his mother was finishing his last, smallest, brightest mandarin coat of all. It had all of the 86 colors of the 86 mandarin coats she had made before it, with one new color, all its own. As her son jumped from the rim of the well to the ground, she put the wonderful mandarin coat on him, and he looked pretty fine, she thought. And she thought this: if a mother loves her son very, very, very much, she shouldn't give him a long name like Nikki, Timbo, no so Rimbo, Moochie, Gama Gucci. She should give him a very short name like Nikki. And you can say that very quickly. And ever after, everybody called him Nikki. And that is why Chinese boys today have such pretty short names like Li and Wu and Po. Hope you enjoyed that story. I love you. Bye-bye.